What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cardboard Dugout. I am your host, Moon 3PO, followed with Bro PO. I realized last time when we recorded the last episode, I didn't fully introduce him. Obviously, if you watched on YouTube, you would see the name, or if you follow me on Twitter, you guys would have saw who I tagged. But he's officially Bro PO. That is going to be the handle here and the name going forward here on the podcast. Bro PO, how's the night going? We're pushing midnight here, Central Standard Time. How's your night going? How's everything going for you so far?
I'm good, brother. I got some water. I'm ready to talk some ball, talk some cards, and yeah, let's do this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. This episode's stacked. When I was planning out the episode last night, this one here was very excited to record. Just because the second episode, it was the third episode, I should say, was more of like introduction, kind of getting our feel for things. That one did really well from what I saw from the few statistics that I saw on Spotify and Apple. So you guys killed it. I'm glad you guys liked that. That was just a little bit of a brief of what to come moving forward with the podcast. So yeah, this one here we have a little bit of a stacked episode. I'm very excited to go through this one. So we're just to kind of go over some key topics here, and then obviously we'll dive a little bit deeper to them. So obviously, if you follow me on Twitter at Moon3PO, or if you follow BroPO here on Twitter, you guys would know that. Or if you also follow me on my TikTok, because I do promote my stuff here on TikTok and other social media platforms, you guys would know that we submitted an SGC order. It took a little bit. It took about 5 business days, so right about the time that they promoted. So I can't really talk bad about them. It's just slower than expected. Cause last time we sent out an order, they graded it within 2 business days. We got it back really, really fast. This time around, it actually took accurately to the 5 business day, which is what they promote with the Topps Chrome update. So we got a SGC reveal. I'm gonna do it off my phone, unfortunately, just because on the website it does show my address, and I don't want you crazy people knowing where I live and trying to come after me or coming after my card. So don't want that. So we're gonna read off the phone. We got a 10 card submission. 6 of them are mine. 4 of them are his. We're gonna start that off. That's gonna kick off the podcast. So it's either I'm gonna be in a fucking bad mood if I got some 9s or some 8s, or I'll be in a good mood if we got some 10s. So Chrome card, SGC, those are tricky. So hopefully we're looking for some 10s. I know you had some big cards in there. We'll go over that once we officially head into the order. Second line of business, of course, is going to be Bowman Chrome. We had a Bowman Chrome release officially dropping on 9/11 this past Wednesday. So we're going to go over that set list, my overall thoughts about it, just because it is a somewhat of a hit and miss set. Bowman Chrome for the last couple of years has always been very hit and miss. And I think this one's a little bit following that same suit. Of course, go over a little bit, a few players of who you want to keep an eye out for. Did make a YouTube video on that as well, specifically one player you want to keep an eye out for if you're buying breaks or anything like that. So I'm going to go over Bowman Chrome. Like I mentioned in the last episode as well, we're also going to cover the AL MVP because, again, like the NL MVP rates, I think this one is a little bit closer than some people think. I think the season that the one player that we're going to talk about is being projected a little bit higher. I don't think it's that great compared to other players, but of course, that's a conversation once we do get there. And then, of course, last thing is going to be the third wild card. We got about roughly 15-ish, 14-ish games for some certain clubs. And the third wild card team, in my opinion, is very mid, minus from the NL. The AL is very, very mid. So, of course, we're going to go over both from a fan perspective and both from a more logistic perspective, and if we like that third wild card. So those are all, and then, of course, final thoughts. So those are all the topics that we're going to cover. I'm really excited to go over this, and yeah, let's actually dive deep into it. So SGC is our
Let's do
second
it.
order that we've submitted. Obviously, I hope you with the great submission, like you mentioned in the first episode, not really very versed with the grading. While I get this up, like, what's your whole opinion on grading? Like, obviously, we go to the shows, you see the showcases, we see the slabs, we see PCA, PSA slabs, the SGC, the Beckett's. I'm thinking about Pete Crow Armstrong and Zoe 101 right now. That's on top of the brain.
Hey
So
now,
you see
hey
all those
now.
slabs. So when you see me do my stuff or you see other people, like, what's your overall thoughts on grading? Do you like it? Is it tedious? Do you think it's worth it? Like, from what you've seen from
Yeah.
me and what you see at shows, like, what's your overall perspective as I try to get this
So
up and running on my
obviously,
end?
I'm new to the whole grading thing. I think I even looked at it to a while back, maybe prior to when we got back into cards, started collecting again, and it's just really, really confusing. Like especially if you go on the PSA website. You gotta like first value your card of what you think it's gonna be valued at once it's graded, and you gotta do all this jizz and jazz, and it's like, yeah, I ain't got time for that. So I was never really into it. But from I mean, collector standpoint, I mean, obviously me, but I'm trying to collect the first Bowmans of all the upcoming prospects for the Red Sox. So, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Kyle Teo, now Christian Campbell. I'm trying to collect those guys, and also collect, some of the mainstays like Rafael Devers, Jaron Duran, Willier, guys like that. So I'm trying to get all PSA 10. So it's pretty cool. It's fun and it's cool, to kind of chase those cards. But at the same time, it's even better when you pull the card and then send it in yourself to see what those grades are. So I'm anxious to see these cards.
Yeah, yeah. Grading's always fun. I like it. It's definitely something when I got back into the hobby, was very intrigued by it because obviously there is a certain value with grading your cards. Obviously, as from a collector standpoint as well. Obviously, if you have your card store like this, obviously protects them for a long time. So if you're planning on, passing it on to your kids or whatever the case may be, obviously it's cool for that. And obviously it's just a cool thing. Like having my Tristan Casa set up there is very cool for me. It's better than, sitting in a long box or whatever the case may be. Obviously, I wish I had Casas with a 10, bought that on eBay as a 9, but yeah, I think grading is really cool. I like it a lot. Obviously, there is a lot of different perspectives when it comes to grading. Obviously, it's also very subjective, just because it depends on what the grader has. Obviously, PSA is trying to improve with that. If you do express shipping, I believe it's express shipping, they will actually tell you why your card got what you got, which is what I think we look for in the hobby as well. Like we want transparency. We want to know why did my card get a 9? Because you can easily PSA. It's very common. You crack that out, you send it back, and then it gets a 10, or maybe it gets lower. So obviously there's a lot of discrepancies, but I mean that is what it is with the game. I think grading companies will slowly get better with that. Hopefully, maybe SGC will go down that line and eventually maybe tell you why they got the card, why your card got that grade. So I think hopefully maybe
Yeah.
down the line that's something that SGC would do. I think that would be really cool. Um, so before we go over the grades here, just want to break down what we sent in. So do you want to tell us what you sent in first, and then I'll go off the mic. I sent more cards than you.
Yeah, so I sent in a Rafael Devers top chrome rookie card that I think it's from 2017 or 16. I can't remember the
Mm,
year.
I think
But like
2017. I think
right? Okay. I sent
was
that in.
17 update something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. I sent a green parallel, or is that what they call it? You gotta correct me on this terminology.
Yeah,
Green parallel. All right, green
green
parallel.
refractor, green parallel.
Green reflector. There you go. Mookie Betts from this year's Bowman Topps Chrome. Sorry, Topps Chrome. I can't remember what it was number two, but it's green.
99.
And then I got the um, Jackson Merrill pink refractor from
Job.
Topps Chrome from this year. So I think it's a. If I'm not mistaken, you said it was a hobby exclusive. No, not hobby exclusive, retail exclusive, right?
Retail shoes. Yep.
Yeah. So I sent that one in, and then the big boy is Topps Chrome rookie card of Shohei Ohtani. Just regular
And tell,
base, but
and tell the backstory of that card before we go into it. So if the
oh
card gets
man,
degraded, it gets.
yeah. So I'm a little worried about this card because, so like I said, I just recently got back into card collecting again. I'm off and on it. But back when Shohei was a rookie, which I believe was also 2017, um, I would buy cards, store them in a little long box, and so and such. So when we were moving into our new house that we bought in 2020, there was of course cards all over the place that were not bagged. So threw them in a big old uh, gallon bag of Ziploc. Threw them in my room. A couple years later, of course, I have a daughter who's now 3. Maybe about a year ago, um, we were just here in the room, and the Ziploc bag was just chilling. Didn't think anything of it. Wasn't really into cards. Maybe 2 years ago, wasn't really into the card game again. Just kind of just they were just there. Um, and so the little one got into them. And to me, I'm thinking, all right, it's just a Ziploc gallon bag. There can't be much in there. Uh, it was like Stadium Club cards, like that what's that real cheap? Um, is it the
That
Topps
Raging
Big League?
Fire,
Raging
Big League.
Topps
I know you
Fire
had to
Big League.
that fire one in there. Yeah.
So Yeah, and then there was a couple of, I think, man, I don't remember the other set that was in there. Heritage, or some heritage cards in there. Anyways, it was a big mix of cards. So when we started getting back into the card game, I was kind of like looking, and by then you gotta think, remember too, back in the day, Shohei wasn't really the Shohei that we watch today. He wasn't this possible
Yeah, because
50-50
2018,
guy.
2019, he was hurt. He was dealing with
Not
injuries,
even
so
that.
he
I
wasn't
remember
like,
pe-
yeah.
I remember some people were throwing fits and bitching because they thought that Gio Urshela should have won Rookie of the Year that year. So where are you guys at? I
I
want to talk. I
remember
want to
that
talk to you
vividly.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, of course, when he won, when Shohei started winning, I think when he won his first MVP, um, he started getting more hype, I guess you could say. Now he's pitching, he's batting. So I decided just to go through this bag. I'm like, what's in here? Let's clean it up because the cards were all over the floor. Lo and behold, there it is. Shohei Ohtani rookie card, Topps Chrome. It's like, God damn it. Instantly had to put it into a little penny sleeve and a top loader and keep it on the side. So whatever grade it gets, it's gonna be very interesting. But that's the story behind that lovely card.
Yeah. So when you told me that and how it was found, I was like, so this one is
Yeah.
daughter proof here. This will be down the line, whatever grade it got is what
Yeah.
if her son or daughter goes to your cards, is maybe what they can get. All right. So
Solid proof.
I'm gonna show it off here. All right. I'm
Slow
only seeing your
reveal.
Devers one right now. Yeah. 2018 Topps Chrome, number 25, Rafael Devers. You, my
2018.
friend.
Okay.
2018. You got yourself a 10 gem mint.
Oh, let's go. All right.
All right.
Wow,
And then I
that's
have the
okay.
other one
Cool.
blocked off. So, and I take pride in this because, like, you send them off to me to prep them, ship them. Obviously, we do the obviously you pay for your cards that you're sending in. But the fact that you trust me to doing
Yeah.
this, and the fact that I'm getting you tens or nines, I don't feel like a fucking dirtbag if I get you like your card got a 7, which I'm a little worried about your Mookie Betts because that centering was
Oh, the Fetterman's
I don't know.
crazy on that one. I'm not too. I just
Yeah,
wanted it because I'm thinking maybe there's got to be a Mookie lover somewhere who just wants to buy it off me.
yeah, she lives at my house. She's gonna hear this. I'm sleeping on the
Uh,
fucking couch tonight.
ooh,
All
yep.
right, 2018 Topps Chrome 150 Shohei Ohtani
Oh God.
9.5 mint.
Oh my God. All right. Hey man, I'll take it. After
9.5.
the story I just told you, to get a 9.5. All
9.5.
right.
All right,
That's cool.
Mookie
I like
Betts
that.
out of 99 green refractor numbered 80 out of 99, 9.5.
Choo-hoo. All right.
Your big one here,
Oh yeah.
pink
Here we go.
refractor, Jackson Merrill, killing it right now. You got yourself a 9.
Damn.
So you got yourself a 9, Jackson Merrill, 9.5 Mookie Betts, which is shocking to me because
I thought the
the
Jackson Merrill looked
Jackson,
better than the Mookie.
I from what I saw, maybe when we get him back, maybe there's something I missed. But yeah, I thought that the Jackson Merrill looked better than the Mookie. I'm shocked that Mookie Betts got a 9.5. I thought that would have got like an 8 or a 9 if I'm being completely honest. I wrote that in my note. I track all myself in Excel and my notebook, and I wrote like 9, like 8 or 9 because that centering was bad.
What did
Um,
Mookie get? Mookie got 9.5, right?
Mookie got a 9.5, Shohei 9.5, and then Devers a 10 mint. So got yourself a 110 and a couple of
And
nines and 9.5.
I'll take my rookie card Devers did. That
Yeah,
was a
that's
good
a good
one.
one. Congrats on those.
Uh,
And then just a recap of what I sent in. So I sent in 6 cards. We sent in a Jackson Holiday Summertime in the Park from Topps 2024 Chrome. That's just a normal base card. Sent in 2 Ellie's. I think I sent in an Ellie base and the Ellie 89 design. Sent in a Jaren Duran sepia refractor rookie card. Sent in what the hell is the Tristan Cassis image variation from Topps Chrome Platinum. And then I sent in something else. What else did I send in? Oh, no, I didn't send Jackson Merrill. What else did I send in? Damn. I don't know what I sent in. We're gonna find out. I don't remember the sixth card I sent in. Yeah, I went over it with damn. I don't know. All right. So first card here I'm looking at Jackson Holiday, Summertime in the Park. Hell yeah, got to set myself a 10.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks also Jackson Holiday for the win the other day. Bobbling that ball and
Saw
nice,
that.
got a 10 there. Elevator Cruise 89 top design. Please be a 10. Got myself a 10. Back to back. 20s. Elevator Cruise base. Can we keep this string here? Got a 9. Damn it. Damn, what did I miss on that one? Got a 9. 20. Oh, Bobby Witt. That's what it was. Bobby Witt, the purple.
Bobby
If there's any
Witt,
10,
yeah, that's right.
if there's any 10, I'm gonna throw my phone across the damn room. Damn, I got a 9. Damn it.
That's when you picked up from the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 9. Damn it. I was really betting on a 10 there. So we started off hot, 2 10s and 2 9s, and I got a damn 9 in the Bobby Witt. Purple refractor, by the way. All right. Sepia refractor, Jaren Duran. Damn, a 9 again. Damn, what the hell did I miss on those? 9. I don't know. Obviously, when we get them back, I'll take a look at them.
They
And
saw
last
they
but not
probably saw
least,
your
Tristan.
they probably saw your they saw your tweet probably where you tagged the one person. They're like, all right, screw this guy. Let's get him now.
I tagged SGC and I clicked on it this morning. I saw like a random no follow. Like, Elon, how's this guy still have a Twitter? Like, come on, man. All right. Tristan Cassis image variation. Platinum. I believe this is a pop 1 if it's 10. I didn't see any cards with this grade. All right. And on a strong note, we got a 10. All right.
Let's go.
Nice. So yeah, Tristan Cassis image variation 10. Recap the grades. Image variation, Tristan Cassis a 10. Jaren Duran, sepia chrome refractor, got yourself a 9. I mean, I can't complain. 9s, 10s. Every card's not going to be perfect. 9s, 10s,
I'll take a
obviously in the
9.
market. Yeah, 9s are not bad. Let's get some more value for SGC 9s and PSA 10s. I think those are criminally undervalued. There it is. Roman Anthony at a 9. I
9.
wonder what that's for now.
I don't know.
Dude, a
Number
pro
one prospect.
debut. And we're going to talk a little bit about pro debut 2024. I think at a 150 raw sticker auto. I was in a bidding for that last night. It went for $650.
Jeez.
Raw. That's obviously post Baseball America top prospect, but yeah, crazy. Bobby Witt, 9. Thought that would have 10. I was hoping that would have 10, but I mean, that's what it is. Ellie, base, 9. Topps 89 design. I'm really happy about that one. That's a clean looking card. Happy that got a 10. Jackson Holiday as well. Happy that got a 10. And then again, Jackson Merrill, 9. Mookie, 9.5. Shohei, 9.5. And a Rafael Devers, a 10. So out of 10 cards, we got how many out of 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're batting 400 in this case. Not bad. And just in case you guys don't know what we're talking about, Topps SGC is doing a promo. All Topps Chrome cards. It could be from anything, any baseball set. Has to be Topps Chrome. It can't be Bowman Chrome or Bowman at all. It has to be Topps Chrome. Any year, any set, you can send into SGC for $12. $12 flat. So it could be from Topps Chrome Black. This year's Topps Chrome, we just sent in 2018 Topps Chrome. If you're into Marvel, they have their Topps Chrome cards. I believe Star Wars has recently announced their new Topps Chrome cards. The old WWE sets, Topps Chrome basketball that just recently dropped, and those older sets, you can all send those in for $12. I'm not affiliated with SGC at all. I'm not trying to promote them or pump their bags or pump my bags. So if you guys want to try out SGC, I would highly, highly recommend it. I think from my perspective, it's been a very good experience with them. I've had no issues with them when it comes to their service time. Their customer support is also really fast. I had a question about my first order, and they responded to me within an hour. So their customer service is really, really exceptional. I like them a lot. So I would definitely recommend SGC to them. I guess without going too deep, okay, I'm on the side. I might check out the shipping and see when we're expecting to get them. What do you think about SGC? Like, do you like them? Do you like the slabs? Like, what's your overall opinion about SGC?
Yeah, I think like especially when I was first getting into it, it's always like you feel like it's always just PSA, and you feel like it's got to be PSA. They're the they're it's like they're the I mean truthfully so they are like the leading pack of the grading companies. But I mean the SGC they look so clean. So I mean this is not baseball related, but I didn't. This was my first SGC card for all you YouTube people out here. If you like wrestling, here's an auto of a Stone Cold. I mean, look at that. It looks pretty clean, black, and so I mean, I like them. They're clean. And you can't beat that turnaround time, man. Like you really can't. You get there and you get it back so quick. Um, which is kind of like the reason why I sent that Jackson Merrill card in there because I kind of wanted to, with all the like some upcoming shows, I kind of want to take it and see if I can flip that into one of the Red Sox prospects. What I really try to do, or something else. So yeah, you just can't beat that turnaround time. It's obviously if you compare the prices though, you obviously probably have more value in the PSA as for the SGC. But I mean, if you're looking to do something quick, um, and if you can find like a good color scheme, honestly, with the black that SGC uses, if you can find a clean color scheme, I think it'll look nice. I think like it's like for example the Jackson Merrill, it's a pink refractor, so it's gonna give me some Brett the Hitman Hart kind of vibe when it comes back. But
Oh yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
it.
Like I'm gonna go to my case here really quick and show off for the YouTube people as well. If you've never, um,
But I mean, you just gotta do your research. There's a lot of grading companies out there. Do your research, see which one you like, which works best for you. Don't feel like you have to do PSA because it is more expensive and it takes longer. Um, So yeah, I mean, also and just look out for those deals, like you said. The SGC is running that Chrome deal right now, so you know, send them in.
yeah, like for like YouTube people here, like a Topps Chrome Black and a suit and tie, like this 8.5 on a grade, but a 10 auto, like to me, this just looks clean. Like it just matches. Like it just suits it well. And then like Bowman Chrome
Cheers.
cards got an Ethan Salas out of 10. Got this on eBay. Like I think these just they look clean. They're more sturdy.
Yeah.
Obviously before the PSA slabs, before they did their whole, restructure of their slabs. Even then, now they still had their issues with that, with a little bit of that little error print line. I know I got a few of them like that, but yeah, SGC like them a lot. Happy with the grades. I can't complain. Anytime you get a 9 or 10, hey, you take them these days of age. So happy about that. I'm going to bed as a happy camper. So looks like, ooh, excuse me, they just created the shipping label today. So I would expect they go through transit tomorrow. Maybe there is a possibility. Maybe Saturday there is that possibility. But if not, worst case scenario, early next week. So, but we're looking pretty for the next show that's coming up next Saturday. So we'll be good on that. So yeah, really happy about that. SGC, thank you for the grades. Obviously, I'm saying thank you like I know them personally, but shout out to them for giving me a 9 to 10s. Appreciate them. Maybe we'll work out something here in the past. Come on, SGC, give Dugout Cardboard Dugout a promo code. I know they used to do that in the past, so let's work on a promo code. We could do something there. Let's give the people
Let's
what
do
they
it.
want.
Yeah.
All right, so fun. I am a little bit on the weather, so if you hear a little bit of the sniffles or a little bit of the cough, please excuse me. I'll try to mute my mic as much as possible if I feel something coming along. But to kind of transition a little bit here, kind of sticking with the Chrome a little bit different. We have a release this week. We had Bowman Chrome being dropped here this week. Again, for the YouTube people, you will be seeing a screen share of it. If not, for the audio listeners, wherever you get your audio, obviously you're just going to have to hear me talk a little bit about the checklist here. I am reviewing this here off of Beckett. If you're watching on YouTube, the link down in the description down below to if you want to go check this out for yourself will be available on this, and we'll also take a look here at tops.com as well, because they do have they should have the price here on Beckett. If not, we can just quickly I can read off those prices off for Tops. So Bowman Chrome released here on, like I mentioned there, this past Wednesday. There is 5 cards per pack, 6 packs per mini box. So you get 2 mini boxes per hobby box, and those retail for $279.99. So before I get into that, once you read that, you're getting 5 cards per pack, 6 packs per box. You're getting 30 cards for $280, not including shipping. From a normal person like yourself, like you're going to a hobby store, you're going into our stores. What's your reaction before we go into the check? Like, you see that price, you see that price point, 2 on
I'm
card
out.
autos potentially, you're out automatically.
Too much.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
is. Yeah, it is very pricey for the set.
Especially
Um,
to prospect products are real. Um, they're dangerous. Just
yeah,
because you can't project what their career is gonna be like. Is if you're gonna do these these prospect products, it has to be like somebody who's it's hard to get it and wait kind of a thing. Especially for the more popular guys, like you got your Paul Kings, your Jackson Holidays, those guys. If you got those are like you gotta get it and get rid of it, honestly.
yeah.
But a lot of these other guys, you just don't know. It's a risk, honestly. It's a
Yeah,
high
and
of a
especially
price
with
tag.
this set. Yeah, especially with this set, and I was gonna kind of dive into it here a little bit more. Like, this set is very international based, and you see that with some of the inserts. We'll go over the inserts here a little bit here. But a lot of these top prospects are 16, 17, 18 years old. And it's tough to project these guys. A lot of these guys here have only played in the complex league, the Dominican league, and it's tough to know what these guys are going to do. There's one guy here in particular that I talked about in a YouTube video. His name is Leo Dallas, or I think he goes by Leo. Leo DeVries. He's one of the top prospects here for the Padres. I believe he's like their 4th top prospect. He's only 17 currently right now, 17, 18 years old. Shortstop, switch any shortstop. Was signed in 2014. Was the only signing from the international. He's the one that has a little bit more minor league experience. He actually skipped the complex leagues and actually went to Lake Elsinore, right to single A. So maybe for us too, maybe we'll see him pretty soon, potentially. I think that'll be pretty cool next year. But yeah, and it's very international based, so it's very risky. So like Leo DeVries, Jose Perdomo, Echerdy Vargas, I probably butchered that name. Like, it's very international based. So with that, it's very, very risky. Um, with if you're doing that, and like you mentioned there, you nailed it right on the head. You pull one of those guys. If you're looking for those quick flips, you're not a long term holder or anything like that. Your best bet is to get those cards and sell them as fast as you can, because those prices will be up during release date. Once it goes down to the off season, they get hurt. Whatever happens next year, those cards will slowly go down. And we've seen that with past Bowman sets. But yeah, just taking a look at it here. I mean, there's a lot of good rookies still in this set that if you're into that. So of course we got Cedine Rafaela. We got Paul Skeens also in this set. It's just a base rookie card. He has no autos. I did see some other people talking about his autos in this set. From my understanding, and we'll go through it again, he does not have any autos in the set, but he does have a rookie card. So it's kind of his first RC badge. He did get top pristine with the RC badge, but I don't think anybody really values the pristine for a base card. Obviously, you want to be looking for flagship as far as top series 1, 2, and or update chromes for that if you're looking to get into Paul Skeens, but obviously will still sell pretty well if you do pull that card. Some other notable rookies, PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, Wozier Abreu, just to name off a few. Jordan Lawler from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Mason Wynn. So yeah, there is still a lot of good rookies. Jackson Churio, obviously all the Jacksons, Jackson Churio, Jackson Merrill, Jackson Holiday, those guys are in here as well. So a lot of good rookies still in the set. So if you're into collecting rookies, you're still going to get a good little smidgen of those guys here in the set list. Now, this is where I also wanted to get your opinion on this, because when you see this, so you got 100 cards and you're seeing all these parallels, and this is something that I've talked about a lot in my videos, that it's just very overwhelming when it comes to parallels and verities. Like we have like what the hell is a reptilian? I don't even know what that is. A reptilian black refractor, right? Reptilian orange refractor out of 25. Reptilian gold refractor out of 50. Like, why is there a gold refractor out of 50 and reptilian gold refractor? I don't get it. Like, I really don't. Red reptilian, red shimmer. The shimmers are kind of cool. I'll give them that. Pearl refractors, like, I don't know, like, what's the point of all that? And it just makes the set list even longer. And I think that's what Tops and Fanatics try to say. Well, there's more parallels, there's more cards you have to collect, and that's why we have to increase the price. So when you see something like this, like what's your opinion? Like you were like kind of like what you mentioned there, like you saw Tops Chrome, like those are green refractors, there's the pink refractors, there's sepias, there's different types of refractors. As like a normal guy, you're collecting your cards, you're at your shows. Does it get overwhelming when you see all these types of refractors, parallels, verities, things like that?
I think sometimes I don't even know what the heck I'm looking at. Like, I mean, one thing that's coming off off the top of my head right now too is like all of these are just hobby exclusive. So you gotta spend that what $280 to even get a shot at pulling one of these cards. So it's kind of just like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna. I mean, and then you look at the list, some of those names I don't even know who they are. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the big thing here with this list. So that you spend $280 and you pull a Mario Baez from the
and I
Atlanta
like
Braves. Are
to
you happy about
and I like to think I'm a little prospect savvy, not too prospect savvy, but yeah, I'm not trying to spend $280 to pull a reptilian red reflector of Miguel Palma from the Houston Astros. No offense to Miguel Palma if you ever hear this, but sorry, my dude.
not to hate on the guy. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I mean, and there's still some cool names in here. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, but I think when it comes to value, like if you're buying this box and you're a Red Sox fan and you're trying to get a Kyle Teal card and you're trying to get the best bang for your buck, obviously you would just rather just go out and go buy either 2024 Bowman and try to get an
Yeah,
auto
see,
from
I'm not
there. Obviously the chrome is not gonna they're not going to be all those chrome cards, but I mean if you want a chrome based auto of Kyle Teal, or you obviously the first Bowman has more value than a Bowman Chrome card, which is what we see here with
yeah.
like Kyle Teal, Dylan Cruz is in the set, all those guys. Granted, still good pools, but the value just may not be there as compared to a first Bowman. And obviously, following through with Bowman, you see a lot of the familiar names. So Arjun Namala, um, Aiden Miller that we've talked about a lot on the channel, Brock Willikin. These are guys that I covered quite a bit a couple months ago when Bowman was first being released. So I mean, it's still cool to see their autos, but again, if you're trying to get those autos, potentially you would want to save your money there and maybe go get the first Bowman. And that's just my personal opinion. Bryce Eldridge, Drew Jones, Luis Baez. I mean, there is some good names in here, but again, I think my personal opinion, your better bet here is just getting the first Bowman cards. And then there are some cool cards. Like, don't get me wrong, there are still some very good looking cards, like the etched in the glass variations. Tops put out a picture of those. Those look really cool. These are very hard to pull. These are one out of 721 hobby packs. I'm pretty sure a breaker has probably pulled all of them here already. But we got like Jackson Holiday, Elliot of the Cruz, PCA, Junior Caminero, Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford, Jackson Cherio. So there is still some very good names here in this set when it comes to those rookies and those variations. Image variations, we got the big name here, of course, Paul Skeens, Jackson Holiday, more the same rookie, Yamamoto. There's some rookie color run variations. So, I mean, there is still a lot of cool cards and cool looking inserts, but again, for that price point, not worth it. And then again, some autos that you can pull. There's the Bobby Witt. I think I saw like on Twitter as well. Like they have some old cards that they never like gave out. So I think another breaker pulled like a 2017 Bobby Witt card, something crazy like that. Um, Bowman Ascension. There's another all on card autos, of course. Roman Anthony, our guy, the Leo DeVries that I just talked about. Chrome Auto Relics. There's a lot of guys here in the set list: Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna, Vladdy Jr., Wyatt Langford, Walker Jenkins. Then, of course, again going back to the Chrome Prospect Auto checklist. These are 1 out of 15 hobby. Again, all the crazy refractors there. So obviously not going to bore you guys here going over every player and going over every set list and or variation of a card, but obviously with this I just kind of want to bring it up that this is a very price set. If you want to go out and spend your money, you're more than welcome to do it. I mean, please, this is not for me personally. I definitely will be looking out for some singles on eBay, going to card stores, things like that. But this for me is just not where I will be willing to put my money at. There's some other fun sets that potentially you could look at that can potentially put your money at. Like I talked about it here on my channel as well. Was the Topps Pro debut. Like that was a fun rip. Like, yes, it's not as value as Bowman Chrome or Bowman in that case when it comes to value, but you're spending $80 and you get 4 on-card auto. Like not you can get on-card autos, but you're guaranteed 4 autos. Like to me, that's more of a fun rip than spending $300. That's half of my house payment, half of my rent payment, and you're possibly getting 2 no-name prospects and some cool inserts. So that's my case on Bowman. I'm curious to get y'all's viewership here on the Bowman. I personally, again, will be skipping it. We got your answer here already. You're skipping it already.
Totally, I'm skipping it, but I just wanted to highlight one set, or I guess one insert that I kind of really do like. It's the Garbage Pail Kids of it. Those nasty little guys. Those are
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool. I was looking at the set list. I mean, you got Jordan Lawler, Drew Jones, Jackson Holiday, Marcelo Mayer, Pico Armstrong, Ellie, Jackson Churio, Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, Paul Skeens, Ethan Salas, Junior Caminero, Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford, Dylan Cruz, Yamamoto, Casas, Yoshida. Like those are pretty cool looking cards. And I think
yeah. No,
there's
those
some
are
number
cool.
factors number to
Yeah,
five, and then there's some super factors that are one of ones. I was like just browsing eBay and like they're like $70, right? So um, yeah, I
what's
just wanted
seventy
to kind
bucks?
of
The one
like
of
just some
ones.
I don't know who it was. No, I don't know who it was, but it's just a regular insert. It was like $70. Like right now I'm looking like there's a Tristan Casas for eBay. It's in a bidding. It's at $141 right now. So, but it's
Yeah,
I
I,
mean
I failed to mention that. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like those a lot.
yeah,
Those are pretty fun.
they're
And
just
I
fucking hilarious.
yeah, those are pretty funny. I totally forgot about those. I was looking at one, or there was the one that I wanted. The Paul Skeens, like the long little mustache and the hair
Yeah,
kind of on it. And
yeah, that
those are
was
cool.
cool.
I do
Yeah,
tip my cap
but I
to.
don't know. Are these hobby exclusive, or do you know?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe there is a retail box of this. Because there is
Oh,
2 versions
okay.
of the box. There's the hobby box, and then there is I
Like,
believe they call them HTA boxes or something like that. Yeah, see, that's
look
a
at
cool
that
card.
nasty little guy.
Yeah, see, that's a cool little card.
The bidding is
And like those
$102
are
right now.
like
That's
guaranteed
crazy.
102.
Yeah,
The thing that worries me about them is that the odds haven't been announced yet. So like I don't
yeah.
know
When I looked
like
it up,
if
it says that they
they're
don't know what the odds are.
yeah, so I don't know if they're like short print or they're super short print. So I mean, it's kind of risky right now to be buying them. I see that's a cool card. Where's that one at?
eBay, but you can buy it right now for $1,250 if you want.
Hmm. To take paying
Hard
for?
to,
Yeah, see, those are
but
kind
yeah,
of cool.
those are pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I do like those. Um, but yeah, Bowman, hard no for me, my dog. But hey, if I see some singles of DeVries or some other guys that I personally would like to follow and think they're worth
Yeah,
buying potentially,
I'll be looking for these garbage kids.
yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on some listings. That's gonna be my thing tonight when I go to bed. I'm gonna be looking at those
Yeah.
listings. Keep an eye on them.
Yep.
So the transition here a little bit from the Bowman, we got the card talk here. Like I mentioned in a lot of the episodes here, we obviously want to introduce the cards in it, and I feel like that's always fun talking cards, especially when you're doing it with your bro PO. It's always fun to do that. It's always fun here talking some ball as well. Highlighted him in my SGC grades. Wish it was a 10, but it fortunately was a 9. Um, kind of going to be leading the discussion here a little bit as far as of that. But AL MVP, I think, like the NL MVP, is a little bit closer than we think potentially. I'm curious to hear your opinion. I know you mentioned me off before we went into it here that you have a lot of numbers, but like when I look at it, and from when I looked at it last night, my numbers are a little bit outdated because obviously they played today or yesterday as well. But when it comes to WAR and things of that nature, when it comes to statistics, um, the AL MVP race is a little bit closer than I think it is. Obviously, Aaron Judge is, and we talked about Aaron Judge a lot on the last episode as well. He's obviously the betting favorite and the favorite within media and fans as well to be the favorite to win AL MVP this year for, I believe, the second time or third, second time, second
Say
time.
that again.
He's in a
If he
if he wins
wins,
this year, second
it'll be a
MVP,
second one. Yeah, Yankee
second
fans say
MVP.
three, but
Oh
second.
yeah, 2017. So second MVP if he wins. But I think there's a guy behind him once again who, like we saw in the NL, who has a pretty good case. And that's another shortstop, and his name is Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals. So I'm going to open up the floor a little bit to you before I do my little bit of my dive. I know you took a little probably deeper dive than I did. But what do you have on the AL MVP race? Is it Bobby Witt? Is it Judge? Is it Soto? Is it Gunner? Who do you have on your end that's your favorite right now, or a little bit of a sleeper that maybe not
My
getting a lot of
head
love?
is legit going 50-50. Who I obviously think it's either going to be Aaron Judge or Bobby Witt Jr. It's between the two. I think you can even give out some love to oh my god, I'm drawing blanks. What the hell is his name? Um, the third baseman from fucking Cleveland. Oh my god,
Jose Ramirez?
Jose Ramirez. Yeah, dude, I was drawing blank. Yeah, you gotta give him some love too. But honestly, I think it's between these two guys, between Judge and Witt. Um, I think it got a lot closer ever since Judge cooled down, since he's not on pace anymore to break his own record. I think right now, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, he is on pace for, I think, for like 55 or 56 home runs from what I saw. Um, so I did some quick numbers. These numbers are as of this morning, prior to any games this today. Baseball References has Judge at a 9.5 and WAR, Bobby Witt at a 9. Obviously, Judge leads in home runs, 51 to Bobby's 30, and in RBIs, Judge leads with 126 to Bobby Witt's 99. Um, Bobby Witt obviously leads them in stolen bases and batting average, and Judge takes over in OBP, slugging, and OPS, and even OPS plus. We talked about it last time how the offensive season that Judge is having in general is just crazy and not heard of. Judge's OPS plus is at 217 compared to Bobby Witt's 169 OPS plus. Um, when you go into Fangraphs, again, Fangraphs WAR takes into consideration defense. They're actually tied from when I looked at this morning. It may have changed since they played tonight. But Judge and Bobby Witt are both at a 9.6. So, but offensively, they are completely different. I mean, I was looking at Baseball Savant. Yeah, so according to Fangraphs, their WAR, they're both even at 9.6 F4 with Judge and Bobby Witt. Defensively, though, they're completely different. Bobby Witt is in the 100th percentile of the shortstops, so he's, if not the best, one of the best defensive shortstops. He's 18 outs above average, where Judge, he is -6 outs above average, and he's in the 8th percentile.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's what hurts his WAR
it's
overall because I
just,
don't think he's a
yeah,
center fielder. Like I know Yankee fans, they obviously the way their outfield is set up. I've never thought of him as a center fielder. Obviously, Juan Soto
yeah.
is more of a liability in center field, But if that's my team and I'm running it, obviously the ideal spot would be to have Judge neither in the corners. I personally don't think he could play center field, and obviously I think the numbers back that as well.
Yeah, I think it's hurting him. Because he is not good defensively. But even at that, I mean, considering that how bad he is defensively to be tied in F4 with Bobby Witt and the defense that Bobby Witt plays at shortstop, that's pretty crazy to them have them be um, neck and neck. So just a couple other little stats I wanted to get by. Um, so of course we talked about Judge's OPS plus being over 200 and how monstrous and how rare that is. So I went ahead and tried to see of other comparisons in other seasons that were kind of similar to his. So in the wild card era of players who have at least played 100 games and had an OPS plus higher than 190, the top 7 players, 2 are Aaron Judge, 1 is Barry Bonds, and 1 is Mark McGwire. So Barry Bonds had OPS plus of over 204 times. He did that in 2002, 2004, 2001, and 2003. Aaron Judge is obviously doing it this year, and he also did it in 2022. And then Mark McGwire did it in 1998. So a little fun fact about that: Bonds in all those years won MVPs. Mark McGwire did it. He finished second. He finished behind Sammy Sosa, whose OPS plus is 160, and Mark McGuire's OPS plus that year was 216. So you kind of see if you I mean, obviously Sammy Sosa is an outfielder too and completely different than Bobby Witt, but the difference of OPS plus is kind of eye popping. Um, so yeah, I don't know if you want to add something to that.
Yeah, because it kind of followed the same suit as I think like with Lindor. Obviously, I think Bobby Witt's having a better statistical season than Lindor. Obviously, the numbers back that up as well. But yeah, kind of with that, and obviously I think now we're a little bit closer to giving it a Shohei. I know he's close. I think he's like 2 away home run wise or 3
Yeah.
away from 50-50. It's pretty inevitable that he is going to do that. But kind of like you kind of nailed it there, touched upon it there a little bit, like with Judge, ever since being on Paw Patrol, dude just hates home run derbies. He goes on a home run derby show and he dude can't fucking hit anymore. Uh,
Yep.
is it worrisome for Judge? I don't think so, because like I mentioned here, I was basically praising him as a lord last episode, that he's one of our greatest right-handed generational hitters of my time and of our time. Um, Still, like you mentioned, their OPS over 200. No, I know I had that the little nug last week about OPS for hitters over 200, or I'm sorry, over 220. And the only right-handed hitter to do that there was Roger Hornsby, and that was back in 1924. But yeah, with Bobby Witt, I think what he's doing right now is pretty exceptional. I think the thing with Bobby Witt, and I saw some people throwing this around. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, because to answer the question, yes, I still think Aaron Judge is going to win MVP. But I was looking at some things on Twitter and looking at some other videos. Like, people were promoting Bobby Witt as this is going to be the greatest season for somebody to not win MVP.
Not win.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that. So, like, my brain automatically, and I kind of touched upon it last episode too, was like Mike Trout. Like, that's where my brain went. Like, Mike Trout in those years when he was competing with Miggy, like that's where my brain went. So, like, what I did on my end, the 2016 season, um, this is where Mike Trout did win MVP. Mike Trout had a 10.5 WAR. He played 159 games, which is like a freaking unicorn to him these days. Had 29 home runs, so he's one less already than Bobby Witt at the time that I did this. Bobby Witt at 30. Mike Trout had 100 RBIs. Bobby Witt at the time, again, doing this, was one short. He was at 99. Mike Trout had 30 bags swiped. Bobby Witt was at 28. Batting average, Bobby Witt has the average at 334. Mike Trout hit 315. On base was 441 for Mike Trout. Bobby Witt was at 386. Slugging, 550 for Mike Trout. Slugging for Bobby Witt, 597. OPS, 991 for Mike Trout. 984 for Bobby Witt. OPS plus for Mike Trout was 173, and Bobby Witt is 170. So when I saw that, like those numbers are not like far off. Like they're really close to each other. Obviously, minus from the war, they're pretty close
Yeah.
offensively. I'm pretty sure maybe defensively, Mike Trout was a little bit better. Maybe that's what increases his war, and that's all B war by preference. I should say B war. Um, so that was kind of a little bit of like, okay, like maybe this is potentially the greatest season that a player might not win. And then looking at the 2012 season, once again, kind of the same situation. Mike Trout 10.5 war, ironically, 139 games, um, 30 home runs again, 83 drove it in, swiped 49 bags, which at that time was pretty underrated. Nobody was doing that during that time. 326 batting average, Bobby Witt has the advantage. 339 on base percentage, but when it comes to slugging and OPS and OPS plus, Bobby Witt's over him. So when I hear that, I'm like, maybe this is potentially the greatest season or one of the best seasons um, for a shortstop. And kind of just taking it a little bit further as well. And this is like little like random stuff that I had because what I don't have it in front of me right now. What was his? Oh, actually, I do. Nine. He's at exactly at 9 WAR. So what
Yeah,
I
he's at 9.
did,
Yeah, sure.
and what was Aaron Judge when it comes to B WAR? I don't have it in front of me. Do you remember?
The Fangraphs, you mean? The Fangraph for F war?
B WAR.
Oh, I don't have his B war.
B WAR 9.5. So 9.5 for Aaron Judge. So
Oh, my bad.
9.0
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Witt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, 9.5. Yeah.
So I what I did here on my end was like, okay, I think a 10 even war when maybe because obviously voters look at that. So I was like, okay, what would a 10 war do for these guys? Or who's had a 10 war for a shortstop? And only five players, oh, I'm sorry, six players have done it. Technically four because they've been done twice. We have Cal Ripken Jr., he had 11.5 war in 1991. Honus Wagner had 11.5 war, T206. Shout out to Honus Wagner, 1908. Alex Rodriguez had a 10.4 war in 2000. Lou, I don't know how to say it. Lou Boudreau, whatever they say say his name, had a 10.4 war for the Cleveland
Ooh.
Indians and a 10.4 war in 1948. Ernie Banks had a 10.2 war in 1959. And then Cal Ripken had a strictly 10 even war in 1984. So you can see here only a few players have done it at that premier shortstop position. So if he gets to 10 war, which I don't know how tough that would be to gain a whole war in 15-inch, 16-inch games, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit tough, but
man.
he'll be into some good consideration um, when it comes to that. And then just some things on my end too, when I think of just shortstops in general is um, I personally am not a big fan of the guy, obviously. But when I think about shortstops, I potentially the greatest. I don't want to say greatest, but one of the better offensive shortstops I think of is Alex Rodriguez. I think he is one of the better offensive shortstops, in my opinion. Was obviously very much better than not Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter. So things I found on my end, like comparing them to like through again, this was through 453 games. Alex Rodriguez had a 22.9 B WAR, and Bobby Witt had a 14.2 B WAR. So as far as of like greatest shortstops or greatest offensive shortstops, maybe Bobby Witt is still a little bit falling, but a little bit behind that. It's a little bit. He did have two a little bit of slower seasons. When it came to that and just like rattling off numbers like A-Rod leads him like in everything. 95 home runs. Again, this is all just through 453 games. 95 home runs for A-Rod compared to Bobby Witt at 80. Had more runs, more doubles, more home runs, more stolen bases. Actually, Bobby Witt has more. A-Rod is driven in more. Batting average is up. On base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus, everything there is above for A-Rod. So as far as maybe potentially greatest offensive shortstop, obviously still very early, but I think Bobby Witt is putting himself into some good consideration when it comes to that. And if he can get to that WAR, um, maybe eventually he can get there. But yeah, to answer the question, I think Aaron Judge is um, the heavy favorite still. I don't say heavy favorite, but is the favorite to still win MVP.
Yeah, I think it's close. And then even Bobby Witt is struggling too. They're both like in a little slump. So I think if one or the other is gonna pull away, I think if someone needs to catch fire. But since you mentioned A-Rod, what I also did is I went in tried to get some the last I went looking for shortstop who actually won MVPs. And the last most recent two that I found was Jimmy Rollins in 2007, and then A Rod in 2003. So what I did is I went ahead and compared them to Bobby Witt's current season right now. Um, and Bobby Witt is actually ahead of them in B War. Bobby Witt's at 9, Jimmy Rollins was at 6.1, and A Rod was at 8.4. So he leads them there, and he also leads them in OPS plus. Bobby Witt is at 169, Jimmy Rollins is 119, and then A Rod was at 147. So we always hear how A Rod was this, monstrous shortstop when he won that MVP, so especially too. I mean, Bobby Witt he's not beating them in the home runs or RBIs, but I mean he's beating them in average, again OPS plus, and he's already leading them in WAR. Um, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I mean, it's really gonna go either way. I think we're gonna have to probably wait and see. I think we're gonna have to do like an award prediction episode,
Yo, yeah, for
and
sure.
once we get
Yeah.
these final numbers in and kind of go from there. But I mean, uh, it's so hard because you also want to you're like, well, if you take away each player from each team, like who do you think would suffer more? And you can make an argument for both of them that both of them would suffer. So, God, it's so hard.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
close.
Once the season officially is wrapped, postseason's over, and we'll do a postseason episode once that time comes around. But yeah, definitely going to be doing a award prediction there. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a bet there, buy a pack of card, buy a box of cards, not a hobby box, of course, but a little bit of box, a little funny, fun wager between us both. Um, when it comes to that, because obviously we'll have the finalized statistics. No more can he hit 63 home runs? Is Shohei going to do 50-50? Will all be finalized. But you kind of led off to a nice little speedway there, is taking away the player from the team. And I think that's a nice little introduction here to the last thing that we had here to cover on the pod before we get into our final thoughts. But was going to be the postseason run. Obviously, we have Kansas City battling for the third wild card. We have the Yankees. They're obviously battling for first. They're basically a lock in securing either the first wild card spot and or the AL East division when going against Baltimore Orioles. But just looking at the divisions itself, obviously we have the Yankees leading there by 2 games. The Guardians are leading their Kansas City Royals by 4 games. Kansas City is up on the wild card there. They hold the second wild card. They're up 1.5 games. Then the AL West, we have the Houston Astros leading their division. The NL East, we have the Philadelphia Phillies up on the Mets by 8 games. The Milwaukee Brewers by 9 games. And then we got the LA Dodgers up by 5 games on top of the Arizona Diamondbacks. But I kind of want to mention here the wild card, because when we look at the AL wild card, particularly them, and I want to focus more on them because we'll obviously talk about the NL as well. But when you look at the AL wild card and you look at that third spot, it can be very mid. So the AL wild card standing here as it looks, we got again Baltimore Orioles at 83-64. The Kansas City Royals here 80-67, or half a game, 1.5 games up. Then we got the Minnesota Twins sitting at 78-68. They've lost I don't know how many games in a row. They're 4-6 on the last 10. They're up on the division, the third wild card spot. But we got the Detroit Tigers here 3.5 out. The Boston Red Sox, unfortunately dropping one to the Yankees tonight, so they're 74-73, sitting at 4.5. The Mariners sitting at 74-73. They're 4.5 out. We have a team below 500, and they're 6.5 out. 72-75 of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rangers 71-76 at 7.5. So when I read off those numbers and read off those standings, like when you see a team like our Boston Red Sox 4.5 out, 74-73, and the Tigers 75-72, and you're 3.5 out. Are you a fan of that third wild card from both from a baseball purist and or from obviously we're fans of the Red Sox, from a fan perspective? Like, is the third wild card something where you're like you're a fan of, you enjoy it, it's good for baseball? Because obviously there's been that conversation where it's a mid team go in there and they can make a run, like we saw last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I was gonna say I like it because I reason why is guys I think baseball honestly is the only sport where you just have to get in, and once you're in, it's a whole another ball game. Basketball, it's very rarely you've ever seen upset with the 8 seed. football. I don't watch enough football to even comment on this, but I'm pretty sure if you're a higher seed, if you have better players, it's going to be, there's the chances of an upset are not as high as compared to baseball. I mean, you already mentioned it last year. The Arizona Diamondbacks were the sixth seeded team, and they made it all the way to the World Series. Where obviously they fell to the Rangers, who were also a wild card team. I don't remember what seeding they were, but they were a wild card team. If you want to even go back to 2022, the Phillies, who made it to the World Series, were I think the sixth seeded in there, and they waited all the way to the World Series, and of course, in front of the Astros. So it's kind of cool. I do like it because, like I said, it doesn't matter. Like once you get to the playoffs, it's a whole different ball game. You get your rotation set up, your 3-man rotation, throw the other two guys in the bullpen for long relief. I mean, it's a whole. I like it. The only thing where I think it falls bad is where you get these owners who don't want to spend money on players, and it's kind of just like, all right, we just have to spend X amount just to get by or just to get in, and again, and then we can see where it goes from there. So that's the only thing where I think it's the bad part. Um, but other than that, I mean, I think it's good, and I think this is also the first year where we're not going to probably have 100. I don't know when's the last time, but there's not going to be no 100 win team. And you can make a case for anybody. I think this is going to be the first time in a long time where it's kind of like it's anybody's game. Um, of course, the Yankees have their problems. The Cleveland has the problem. Astros have their problems. Orioles, Royals, Twins. I mean, everybody's got a problem. If you want to look at the NL, I think the Phillies are kind of like the one team that's kind of got all their things going, but I mean they're not as dominant as they were, earlier in the season. The Dodgers, of course, have their. It seems like they're getting healthier, but Yamamoto just coming back. But they lost Kershaw, they lost Gavin Stone. The Brewers, they traded away freaking Corbin Burns at the beginning of the year, thinking they're gonna, you know, rebuild or have a bridge year, but then you got
And
Jackson
a
Morton,
rookie
who's actually
manager as well. You like they
yeah,
let
Jackson
Craig Counsell
Trio,
go to the
yeah.
Cubs, yeah.
Yeah, and the Cubs are not even. Yeah, I mean the Cubs they have their little run right now, but you got the D-backs in it. They came in a couple weeks ago, swept the Red Sox. Padres are fun. Mets, they're doing their thing over there too. And as of right now, the Braves are out of the playoffs. Wow, that is crazy. They're one game out of the
Yeah,
third wild card spot.
yeah, to see the end of today, your
Must be
playoff
hot.
picture as far as the wild card when it comes to NL is Diamondbacks, Padres, the Mets, and yeah, like you
Yeah,
mentioned there, the Braves are one game out. Obviously, they've had their fair share of injuries. When it comes to the pitching
oh
rotation,
yeah,
obviously Acuna as well. And like you briefly mentioned, the Cubs are making a little bit of a strong push right now. What are they 5-5 of the last 5 games? But yeah, they played well against the Dodgers, showed almost the throwing the combined no hitter. Um, so I mean, those guys obviously they're a very talented team. Obviously, like we just briefly mentioned, they're Craig Counsell at the helm for the first time there on their end. Right behind them, the St. Louis Cardinals sitting at 74-72. Then after that, it kind of goes off the deep end with the Giants, Reds, Pirates, Nationals, Rockies, and the Miami Marlins. But yeah, I wanted to bring this conversation up because I feel like it's interesting because yeah, like you mentioned there, once you're in, you're in. If you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, you're not. You're gonna struggle, and we've seen that, and many times, and in baseball, um, what I think it's weird if a 82 and 80 team made it to the postseason for sure, but I mean
mm,
that's kind of like you mentioned
yeah.
there. Baseball is a very long season, and if you're hot during that time, if you're 80 and 80 and you win 2 games, and the team you're going against there falls off 2 games, and you're in the playoffs by 2 games, like you're in it. You're not going to complain about that. Um, I think
Yeah, I mean
obviously from
last
like a
year
fan person,
the D-backs were 84 and 78.
yeah,
Swept the
and
Brewers in the wild card. Swept the Dodgers, who were a 100 and win team. They were yeah, exactly 100. Um, and then took the Phillies to 7 games, beat them, and then came across the Rangers. But yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, and then obviously from like a fan perspective as well. Um, I like it a lot. I like it from both perspective. I think the format maybe can be improved. I don't know, with the whole best out of 3 series, maybe that can be a little bit improvement with the bye week. I know there's been some excuses from the Braves there. Maybe that layoff does hurt them a little bit. I obviously
Yeah,
I don't know.
that'd be the only thing. That is a little weird, but you would think you would need the rest. I don't know. but some guys don't like
Yeah,
playoffs, I
that's what I'm
guess,
saying. Like on
for
my end, like I
like
think that
that.
if you're a well enough prepared team, you should know how to prepare and stay ready for when those games do come to take advantage of that. 'Cause if you think about it, to your team that's coming in to play you, maybe they're already depleted. If they had a bullpen game, the arms are a little bit depleted. So that's something you got to consider as well. Um, so yeah, I myself, like both from like the baseball purist and from the fan perspective, I like it both. Obviously, as both Red Sox fans, this gives us meaningful baseball to watch, which we haven't said in a long time. Like, yes, I understand they're 74 and 73, but they're 4.5 out. And for being completely honest, if they're playing better baseball the last month and a
Month.
half,
Yeah.
yeah, month and a half, second half in general, like I love the throw wild
Yep.
card. I love it. We're in the playoffs. I'm not complaining about it. Um, but the
Hey, it's
fact
better than
that
those
I get,
damn one card game playoffs, the wild cards.
yeah,
I hated
yeah,
that
those,
damn one card.
yeah, those things were brutal. But like from like a baseball fan perspective, I'm watching meaningful baseball. Like today, I was out at a football game with my fiance, at a high school football game. If we're last place below 500, I'm maybe not turning on the game. Today, I was glued to my phone. Like we're in the middle of it. Is it very slim? I don't know what the percentages are of it right now. Um, but there's still that mathematical percentage that the Red Sox could be a third wild card team, or the Detroit Tigers. If you're a Detroit Tigers fan, there is still that mathematical shot that those are postseason teams. And I think that's what the whole point of that third wild card team is. It kind of saw in the offseason, and not offseason, I'm sorry, the trade deadline, like we saw more teams be a little bit buyers. Obviously, you're buying from those lower end teams, but we saw more teams being involved. Maybe they're not the big acquisitions, but they're doing things here to improve to like, hey, if we get there, we get there. Um, and like we've touched upon it here, you never know what happens in MLB postseason. But yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's obviously there could be some improvements there with the format, but I think on my end, I enjoy it. Do I think the Twins, if they secure the third wild card, going to be World Series favorites? No, but it's definitely you never know with baseball, and maybe somehow they do. Maybe Royce Lewis goes on an absolute tear again and finds a way to carry that team, or maybe the Mets powered by Grimace can find a way and make it there. So powered by Jose Iglesias and
Yeah.
OMG, they find a way to get there.
Yeah, I don't think this is updated because we're still has us at 74 and 72, but right now our playoff odds are 4.8% to make it, and is 0.2 to win the World Series.
I'm not a betting man, but I'll take those
And
odds.
yeah, let me see what the Twins are real quick since they're the last. The Twins are an 81.6 to make the postseason. So
Yeah, I would think, yeah,
do with that
that's kind of like,
info as you will.
yeah, if you're always like, but what's that saying going around right now? I've always said it, but if you're more games, if you're more games behind than how many weeks left in the season,
Then weeks
it's going to
here.
be tough.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, we're cooked.
basically, Red Sox fans, you're 4.5 out. You have 2 weeks of the season.
Cooked.
Maybe not so good.
Hey, but they do got three coming up with the Twins.
Yeah, that absolutely. If we sweep the Twins, then obviously I'll look like an
Yeah.
idiot on here. But um, I'm obviously in a 4-game set here with the Yankees as well. Obviously dropping the first one, but obviously you're still in it. But that's all I asked for. Meaningful baseball. This third wild card team gives me a little bit of life, and if it can do that for me, hey, I'm all about it. But obviously, there are some baseball purists who just absolutely hate the idea of a sub-average or above average, slightly above average, 80-ish win team making and potentially being World Series champions. I know those people out there who absolutely hate that idea,
Those fucks can go to bed early.
which is what we're not doing here. We're pushing
Nope.
1 a.m. Central
We
Standard
grind
Time
it.
here. Yeah, we grinded here on this. But yeah, that's all we had for topics on my end. We did Bowman. We got our SGC reveal, going to bed as a happy camper. Definitely will be revealing those cards once we do um, on TikTok and YouTube. I know we have some very cool things here planned, but of course I'm not going to go into that right now. Those will be my final thoughts. But yeah, we got everything here on our end. So I'll open up the floor to you, Bro Pio. Any final thoughts before we do some little bit mini announcements, anything like that you would like to maybe touch upon that. Maybe we didn't touch upon it a little bit further, or any final thoughts potentially.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Roman Anthony is now the number one prospect in baseball. Junior Caminero has graduated, and so Roman Anthony is now the number one prospect in baseball. So that is pretty cool. Sticking with the Rooks, we gave him a little bit of love last podcast, but Kumar Rocker made his major league debut tonight with the Texas Rangers. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 Ks. I think from what you told me, he's going to be on a pitching limit, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they handle him the
Yeah,
rest of the.
innings limit. I think from what I read, he's going to be about 50 innings pitched. So, I mean, that's about 3 starts, give or take, or he's probably going to get like 3, 4 starts. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think So fun to see him
be
up though.
interesting to see how he does. Yeah, yeah. Um, little bit of the NL Rookie of the Year stats race. I think this was a couple of days ago, but Jackson Merrill joined a little pretty cool group of 20 plus home runs as a rookie center fielder, age 21 and under. He joined Willie Mays, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and Julio Rodriguez. So that's pretty cool, giving him some love. And then Paul Skeens, he recently became, or he has the most strikeouts now for a Pirates rookie with 143 since 1900. That's pretty crazy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Pirates have been around for a long ass time.
yeah, they have.
That's
So
crazy.
Paul Skeens now has the most strikeouts in a single season by a Pirates rookie at 143. So another tight award race that's going to come down to the bottom. See how that pans out. But other than that, that's all I got.
Yeah, for sure. I think I mentioned in the last episode too. I know I mentioned AL MVP. I kind of knew this or not AL MVP, NL Rookie of the Year. Because I briefly touched upon it, but obviously we didn't have. I was by myself. Um, so we would definitely do that episode again, kind of going over that again, kind of getting our both opinions on it. Because obviously it's could have changed a little bit. Because obviously there is a lot of good rookies who are performing a lot better. Like you mentioned there, Jackson Merrill doing what he's doing. He's been doing it for the like majority of the summer, dog day of the summer, and then what he's doing now. Got up a little bit of slow start, but now slowly has slowly picked up. Jackson Churio, I believe now just hit 2020. I believe I'm not mistaken. I think he did it tonight. Um,
Yeah, I think he did it today. Yeah.
joins joins the 2020 club. Paul Skeens, I've talked about him. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. He made a good little saving catch up for the Dodgers. He's been performing well as well. So the NL is very, very stacked, and I think that will be um, a whole episode for its own, and definitely that's going to be onto the next episode, which I'm hoping going forward they will be out by Fridays. I had a little bit of a video issue um, last week, which is why the video came out on Saturday. But I'm hoping that Fridays will be the days where both the audio and the um, videos come out simultaneously. So I definitely do apologize there for that on my end. But yeah, you nailed it there. Roman Anthony, top prospect in baseball. I know we talked about it last week. So officially up there on that. Some final thoughts here on my end, just what to expect here moving forward. It is Topps Rip Night on Saturday, so hopefully you're listening to this on Friday. Check out your local hobby stores; they will be giving out, from my understanding, free packs. Paul Skeens, Jackson Holiday, Jackson Murrow, and Ellie De La Cruz. Actually, I have it up in front of me here before I give you our wrong info. Definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, Top Trip Night. We will be attending that. We will be going to, or I believe, are you going to that? I'm asking you live.
I think so. I have to double check for some things, but yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make it out.
Yeah, Top Trip Night. Let's see here. According to Tops, they're going to be giving away 100,000 free packs to celebrate Tops Hobby Rip Night. These packs will be given away to collectors who visit their local hobby shops on Rip Night, September 14th. It's Shohei Ohtani, Paul Skeens, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jackson Holiday. Those will be the cards there that you'll be able to get. So if you're in an area where you have a local hobby store, definitely want to check them out on Saturday. My local hobby store is having a little mini card show and hosting their Rip Night. So I will definitely be attending that. I will try to make a little bit of a vlog out of it on my end. So if you are not tuned into the YouTube channel, definitely will recommend checking that out. Again, Moon. Oh my God, this cough is getting me. Moon 3PO. that is where you can check out all the socials. It is going to be linked down in the description down below as well. So please feel free to check out all that. And that is where you'll get a little bit of a mini personal vlog as far as what I do in a day in the life when I do my card shows, and you'll see Bro Pio live in action. If he does attend, hopefully he does. That'd be cool to get a little bit of a live vlog action there. As far as of that, after that, we do have another card show on that weekend. So that will be another vlog. So I'm trying to make these vlogs and the podcast a little bit personable so you guys get to know us there a little bit better, as far as of that. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that type of content as well. So again, please feel free to check out all the socials, link down description down below. I will be tagging Bropio in the comments and the tweet, and I'll tag him down in the description down below. So if you want to give him a follow, he's pretty active over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. I know he calls it Twitter. I'm trying to call it X, but it's still will be forever be Twitter to me as well. So please feel free to check out all those. Trying to think what else I had on my end. I think that was majority of it. I think we covered everything here. Go rip open some cards. Pro debut. That's a fun rip. Like I mentioned, video is over on TikTok as well. If you guys want to see what I pulled there. Yeah, that's all I had on my end. If you're listening on to Spotify, Apple, if you enjoyed this episode or have been enjoying the episodes, please feel free to leave a rating. And if you're not enjoying the episodes, please feel free to give us some open criticism. I am an open book. I take criticism as much. I always like to try to improve anything that I can in life. So if I'm doing something wrong, or if there's something that you maybe are interested in a little bit more that you want to get a deeper dive into, please feel free to reach out to me or Bropio, and we'll be happy to take those open feedback here and see how that goes. As far as that, if you're watching on YouTube, please, again, same thing follows. Leave a comment down below. You enjoyed the episode. Have any feedback for us? Leave that comment down below. And if you haven't yet, please feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, because that is a free way to help support the podcast and help support the channel as well, so we can continue to bring on some cool content and continue to do some cool stuff for you guys, because it's obviously is very fun for the both of us. I do thank you guys for listening and watching, and stay tuned for the next one.